Shout out corner time. So I'd like to say thank you to the Joker, Mark the Lone Gamer, Martin Flores, JCDG, thank you for the comments. Lucky Stars, Osman Goni, Shariful Fahim, Jolly Fool, J Patel, Epsilon Diamond, Yasir Maki, Jace NXS, Blade Vienna 7X, Helen Tatray, Mijahana, Saber Rider, thanks for the comments. CGX Muhammad Mitun, Russell Place, Angela 001, Dart Gren, Senpai Rai, Yu Yang Ho, Van Wan Pat Baba, Towser Benevolent, Harem King, Gameslayer Channel, Ayush Raj Ghost, Rex X, Muhammad Ali, Dawood Ali, Hamza Army, and Scarlet Egg and Randy Adrian Y. So please subscribe to 2300 Gaming, click that subscribe button down below, and always comment on this video to be featured on my next shoutout corner happening tomorrow. And let's start this video now. Hi guys, welcome back to this 2300 Gaming again, bringing another King of Fighters All-Star content. So, yesterday, what happened was, like, the championship and the game, it's still buggy. The guild raid is still buggy. The PvP side of things is still buggy. You saw my initial stream wherein, like, there's lots of funny stuff going around, and you saw Merlin, like, flying over the screen. She's not really stopping. So what Netmarble did was, like, I think the fan base of the 7 Deadly Sins, like, are clamoring that might be they're not that OP, so they're just so. So what they did, they rework all of the characters. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what did they do, and then the new banner is out as well, so we'll be talking about that one as well. Hopefully they didn't do any rework, or hopefully they did a rework and made them much more OP'er. We'll see, because we were discussing in the stream as well, like, is Netmarble not gonna make the collab OP, so that the King of Fighters characters can be more relevant or significant, just like the BS and the SS. So lo and behold, all the while with the speculations that they're gonna be, like, making the collab not that relevant, they've thrown that on the wayside and then they made them OP. So we'll discuss that one now. We'll go to the codex, and let's see what's going on with everybody. So I can't really test the characters now because the PvP is really buggy, and there's no PvP content, unfortunately, for you guys. There's no tips and tricks on what to do because of what's going on. So I'm gonna be doing, like, I think the least of the buff is the Tavern, Meliodas, and Elizabeth. I'm not gonna be talking about that because, like, the two free characters, they're not that buffed severely compared to this guy, Meliodas. So Meliodas, technically, his third skill is just hyper armor. Okay, now it can be used while being attacked, so only standing. So it's an interrupt skill wherein if you're lying down on the floor, you can get up and, like, interrupt the enemy so long as you're on the ground. Okay, so it's just like BS Rugal's interrupt as well on the second skill. So all interrupt, it's always like this. The parenthesis is like only while standing. It means that if you're on the ground, you can use this skill, like, so that you can interrupt the characters using another skill. Okay, it's an interrupt skill. Okay, so that's just the way it goes. So he has hyper armor and interrupt on the third skill. The second skill, because initially the PvP exclusive here was, like, less, like, I think it's like 30% chance to remove the target super armor and hyper armor. Now it's 50%. He's much more stronger on this side of things. Okay, so he can 50% counter the target super armor and hyper armor upon landing a skill. Okay, see, so compared to Rugal, let's go to Rugal. Let's go to the, where's the BS Boss Syndrome Rugal. So Rugal's second skill, see, only while standing, that's his second skill. And the third skill is, this one is, like, higher. It's 60% chance to remove the super armor and hyper armor. Okay, so it's 10% much higher to Meliodas' ability. But still, there are these two are the only ones who can use that cancel hyper armor and super armor for the enemy so that they can attack them back. That's why they're OP. That's why Meliodas, like shoutouts to the RR Discord. I think Meliodas is SS tier with the BS and the SS with Rudy and everybody else. So he's SS now because of that skill and because of the interrupt hyper armor. So plus he's having darkness damage. So if you don't have Delons, and for example, the problem is with if you have Lady Geese, it takes a while to upgrade her because like she's an AS fighter. She's not a collab fighter. So you need her memory to upgrade her. Unlike this one, Meliodas, you can use your dimensional envelope. So all of the Fest characters memory, you can combine them together to get that Fest dimensional envelope so that you can awaken Meliodas. Okay, so that's what they did to Meliodas. Next would be Merlin. So Merlin, she's OP. People were like getting angry because like the Korean live stream was telling like Merlin should have hyper armor. Why Netmarble did you, instead of putting hyper armor, you put like super armor? That's crazy. So what they did, like, okay guys, like okay, we'll follow what you like what we said earlier, and then we're giving her hyper armor. So the second skill is gains hyper armor and applies cold spell. Okay, doesn't really change, but like the hyper armor is there instead of the super armor. And then the first skill, instead of like it's now 100% chance to ignore our it's 100% chance to armor break. It's not this, like it's less. It's like I think it's 70% like or less the armor break chance, but like yeah. So it's 100% chance to ignore our like I'm not quite sure if she has this skill earlier. So but they put it in 100% chance to ignore target's guard. And then the PvP exclusively, if you get hit by this, you cannot activate your buffs or active skills. Like you cannot activate buffs from active skills for 3 seconds upon landing a skill. So it's really like she's really strong. And then the third skill, it was not here as well. So 30% chance to reset cooldown of Icicle Castle. So that's gonna be her S2 with the hyper armor. So that's crazy. So even though with 30% chance, you know the Leah set is 30% chance as well. Okay, just remember that the Leah set is 30% chance to reset cooldowns. So for sure, she will reset the cooldowns quite often. Okay, that's gonna be crazy. And then she's gonna be applying different kinds of status ailments. And this is on the ground. Like while you're on the ground, you can combo onto this one. Everything is OTG. Provided if the character doesn't have an interrupt OTG, okay, on the ground, just like Meliodas and BS Rugal. Okay, if they don't have an interrupt while standing, you can hit everybody with this one. Okay, so Merlin is gonna be OP, and my favorite would be Ban. Ban is my favorite. He was lackluster previously because of like now he's much better. His second skill is like, because the problem is with this one, like he only has like decreased damage, but now he has immune damage for 3 seconds and can be used by being attacked. So now it's an interrupt skill on his second skill. So it's an interrupt with super armor plus he has an immune damage. So the thing is, like, people are always like getting confused with the hyper armor and this skill. So the thing is, like, the hyper armor is super armor plus immune to damage. But the thing is, like, there's two characters that can remove hyper armor and super armor, which is BS Rugal and Meliodas. So like characters who's having hyper armor, super armor will be having a hard time when facing Meliodas or BS Rugal. But if you're facing Ban in PvP, like, they can remove her hype, like they can remove his hype, like super armor. But the thing is, the immune damage is still there for 3 seconds, so he can like tank that damage, and he can, like, yeah, if he's using a Leah set or an Akane set, like, this is gonna be OP. So But right now we're not using any cards or option cards there, so that's just my observation. The first skill is the same as usual, 100% chance to ignore guard, and the third skill would be the same, 70% chance to reset this third skill. Okay, the only thing that changed on ban is this one, and it's already been activated. You know, the core effect is already activated, becomes immune to damage, and reset active skills cooldown for 6 seconds when HP is 30% or less. Previously, when I did the stream, it's not like activating, like this core effect, it's not activating, but now it is. Okay, so if you're using this one and you're using an Akane set, so most likely it's gonna be like invincible technically if the opponent doesn't have a Leah set. So that's just like the way it goes with ban. So that's the buffs of the three characters. I'm not gonna be talking about Meliodas and Elizabeth. It's just like penetration, and it's like increased penetration is not that really significant. I know it's like increased penetration, but like, yeah, I think the free fest characters doesn't really add up to Rachel. For me, Rachel in Seven Nights is still the best free character that Netmarble has given us, like compared to Ban and Elizabeth. That's just me, okay? That's just my opinion. And the second banner is out. So let's see first this lady, Dancer Elizabeth. So let's check her profile. So her skills would be, we'll see if there's any changes. Inflicts damage equal 86 of attack. Gains super armor for 3 seconds using a skill. Removes buffs from the target's active skills upon landing a skill. So she removes buffs from the target's active skill upon landing a skill. Just like Adelheid removes buffs from the target's active skill. So for example, you're having a super armor or hyper armor. If she hits you with this, like your hyper armor and super armor will be gone. Okay? Removes buffs from the target's active skills upon landing a skill. Okay, that's her first skill. The second skill would be, she's like Adelheid like. Second skill would be Super Roast Illusion. Increase attack by 30% for 7 seconds. 80% chance to ignore the target's guard. Okay, so there's ignore guard 80% and Super Leftover Breath. Decrease damage by 85% for 3 seconds. Deals venom damage for 6 seconds. And decreases power charge rate by... Wow! Deals poison damage equal to 35% of attack. And decreases the power charge rate by 80% of that character who's affected by this. Wow, so he's not gonna gain power gain when he gets hit by this. So core effect would be, so she's immune to darkness. So she's a starlight damage dealer. Deals starlight damage equals to 65% of attack upon landing a skill. So technically, she's not really a pure starlight character. So she's just inflicting starlight once she like hits you one time. It's not a dot effect. Okay, inflicts starlight when hitting you. Okay, it's not a dot effect. And together with Hawk, 50% chance to reset blast active skill cooldown upon landing Pork Shoulder Bomber. So where's the Pork Shoulder Bomber? So where's the Pork Shoulder Bomber? So when you cast this Pork Shoulder Bomber, the S2 and S3 will be will reset. There's a chance to reset that. But the thing is, like, you always start with like S1 first, just to protect yourself. You can't really do S2 and S3 then S1. You can use this one in PvE. You know, you cast your S2 and S3, then cast S1 so that it will reset the S2 and S3. With the my option card, you can do that, okay? So that they will not interrupt you when you're tagging in. So, but in PvP setting, you need to do your super armor first before you do your skills. That's the way of the land goes, okay? In PvP. So that's Elizabeth. Let's check her skills. Skill preview. Come on. So Pork Shoulder Bomber. Okay. Just almost the same as the regular Elizabeth. Almost the same as the regular Elizabeth. Oh my god, they didn't really like... Okay. They just tweaked it a little bit. Instead of like a Hawk punching. He's just blowing on the Venom Strike. I'm not quite sure if this is a fast skill. Looks like I'm not quite sure if it's fast. The second skill is really slow. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna be a viable in PvP. Okay, with the slow start up. We know already this the like I don't really want to look at the okay, we'll just look at the super. The super is lackluster for me. Doesn't really like it's not really cool. And that's it. That's his 3PG. I want to get the 3PG just for Elizabeth, but the thing is like my target would be in this banner is King and Diane. We'll see Diane. How is she? Is she like a PvP or PvE character? We'll see. We'll see the core effects first. So power charge rate 15%, Serpent Sin of Envy, decreased damage received by 70% for 3 seconds when attacked if HP 50% or more. Okay. Becomes immune to damage for 3 seconds when attacked if HP is 49 or less. Okay. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Okay, okay. So she's tanky. She looks like a PvP character. So creation does additional damage equal to 150 of attack to target when attacking a stunned enemy. Looks like a PvP character to me. She doesn't have a dot, so that's the problem. First skill, heavy metal, gain super armor for 3 seconds, can be used while being attacked, so it's an interrupt super armor. So second skill with decreased target's defense by 30% for 7 seconds upon successful skill, stuns an enemy for 2 seconds while the guard includes ends. So if you get hit even though on block, after the animation you're gonna get stunned. Okay, so third skill would be inflict damage, increase attack by 45, like disables target's roll. Looks like a lackluster skill, but like we're not quite sure if she's gonna be strong in PvP because like she doesn't have like she has decreased damage as a core effect, but like skill wise she doesn't have one. She only has super armor, she has an interrupt, she has a stun on the second skill, and on the third skill she has a disabled roll. Okay, it can be useful, but like looks like lackluster, but we'll see with the PvP. Okay, we'll see the skill preview if it's fast. At least I know what I'm gonna be picking. Okay, hopefully you can cancel through that. Okay, that looks like slow. That looks like it's slow. Okay. Third skill would be okay. Super lackluster. Just me. Creation 3PG. It's a fast 3PG, so you can't really use this one in PvE as well. So I'd rather use Rudy. Like compared to this lady. Like plus Diane is a red fighter. Increases defense type fighter by 40 and defense by 15. It's a good leadership skill, but like I'm not quite sure. Like I'd rather like if you're gonna be choosing, like I'd rather choose Lady Big rather than this lady. Like I'm not quite sure with this one. Like she's like purely for PvP. So that's just me because she doesn't have dot, she doesn't have anything, but like the cream of the crop here would be King. Okay, King is for me, he's gonna be the best yellow fighter in the game. You know why? Because of the leadership skill. Increases yellow element fighters by 45%, power charge rate by 20%. So the only character which is yellow that has this skill is Xion. Okay, Xion, the problem is with Xion is like his strike skill is a little bit slow on startup, and yeah, he gains a lot. Like he gains 3PG quite fast, but his startups are really slow. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if his startup will be fast and he can cancel through his skills fairly quickly. But I think like initial impression with the Korean live stream, you can easily cancel your skills. But we're not quite sure. I don't have him yet. We'll experiment on him more if I get him. Okay, but in this banner, like The Dancer Elizabeth looks lackluster. Diane is like PvP type, but like Ban is much stronger than her. And Meliodas, Tavern Meliodas is like Tavern Meliodas. He's like a free character. So the only thing that for me is much the strongest in this bunch would be King. So skill wise, the first skill is dear starlight damage for every 1 second. So this is the dot starlight damage. So he's a starlight damage dealer compared to Dancer Elizabeth, wherein she can just deal starlight while dealing damage. It's not a dot compared to King. Okay. Second skill is inflicts damage equal to 653 attack, and then petrifies the enemy for 2 seconds upon landing a skill, even with the guard. And then 30% chance to reset the cooldown, so he can use this one again. And then S3 inflicts damage to 775 of attack, gains hyper armor for 3 seconds, and deals starlight damage for 7 seconds. So he has 2 starlight damage, which is crazy. That's really cool. Okay, and then the core effects would be he has 20% power charge rate. The Grizzly Sin of Sloth becomes immune to petrify, so he's just like Lady Zero, but he doesn't reflect it. Can he reflect it? PvP exclusive when attack disables the attacker's strike skills for 3 seconds. Wow. Wow, strike active skills. It's just like Nameless, but Nameless has his own skill, like the S1. That's the one that disables the strike active skills. But this one, PvP exclusive when attack. Okay, whenever his attack disables attacks active skills for 3 seconds, but that's every 20 seconds. So after 20 seconds, you can use that one again. Okay, and then Disaster, 50% chance to deal starlight damage. Okay, so he has starlight explosion. So he's the first character who has a starlight explosion. So the problem is, Athena would still be the way to go in the guild raid, because the thing is with King, he has a chance to have starlight explosion, which is not good if you're breaking that BS Rugal's, like Omega Rugal's guard in guild raid. Okay, just like Chris, he has like a darkness explosion, which is he's not really good in breaking the guard, inflicting darkness, because like it explodes. There's a chance that it explodes, so it will erase all of the darkness that you inflicted. Same as this one, your starlight damage will be gone if it explodes. So not good of guild raid. But looking everything else, he looks like a PvP and a PvE character as well. Just like Meliodas, he can be a PvP and a PvE, and like Merlin. Ban specifically for PvP, but if you want a nuker purple type like Nameless, you can use Nameless. Yeah, so yeah, you can use Nameless instead of Ban. But compared to like the 7 deadly sins, you can awaken them using different kinds of fest memories, and then combine them to use dimensional envelope, the fest dimensional envelope. So let's see the skill preview. So this one is fast. Like this one is fast. Hopefully it's a long range up to the screen, end of the screen. Okay, that's fast as well. But the thing is, like the hitbox is a little bit short. Just like Eileen, maybe you can roll it fairly quickly. I can't really say that at the moment, because like I haven't tried championship yet, and I don't have this character yet. But like I think you can roll past this one quite easily, as long as you don't block it. Okay, try to like anticipate. Skill 3 would be his weapon changing into a big blanket bear something. It's a little bit slow, but like yeah, maybe we can roll onto that. That's the hyper armor. Okay, this is his basic. A little bit long, but like still on the short side. This one is a little bit long. Okay, that he like opens the sunflower and then hits him. Okay, that's really cool. So they haven't changed anything with Diane. They haven't changed anything about King. They haven't changed about like Dancer Elizabeth. So looking like they're all not changed compared to the first collab. So in this second collab, I feel like it's a lackluster collab on the volume 2. I'd rather have King, and then after that, like, I'm gonna be skipping Diane and the Dancer Elizabeth, because like you don't really need like more Starlight. You don't like Dancer Elizabeth doesn't have like a dot Starlight effect, okay, compared to King. Even though he has Starlight Explosion, at least he has lots of kit for PvP and PvE set kinds of things there on the setting. So hopefully on the 19th of April they'll fix it, like they revamp, and then they'll bring back the patch again, so that we can play PvP much better and like discover the characters here. So I'll be doing like a summon video maybe tomorrow. Hopefully RNG will be nicer to me compared to the first one. I just want King and his card, and that's it. I'm done with this collab. I'm not gonna get Diane, I'm not gonna get like Elizabeth, or yeah, I'm not gonna get Dancer Elizabeth. And that's just me, as I'm saving Ruby. So I hope you guys like this video. Like and subscribe again. This is 2300 Gaming. I post King of Fighters All-Star content, and I post also other games which I feature in this channel as well. So again, if you like what you're seeing, put a like on the description, and put a click that subscribe button, and comment on the comment section, so that you're gonna be having a chance to be in the shoutout corner on my next video coming up. Okay, so I'll see you on the next one. This is again 2300 Gaming. I'm out. Peace out.